What is the connection between Ringo, Keith Moon, Oliver Reed, and the Rhino Statue at Tittenhurst Park? Well, after watching this show, you're going to know the answer to that question. Welcome along, fellow time travelers and Beatle people. This time around, we're going to check out more of my rare photos of Tittenhurst Park, and we're going to focus on some of the strange statues and busts that were owned by John and Ringo. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin our journey. This photo, taken in front of the Cape Dutch Cottage at Tittenhurst Park, features the Beatles posing during the Beatles' last official photo session, with the photographers Ethan Russell and Monty Fresco capturing the moment, and Mal Evans was also taking photos that day. As you can see, this image shows the band in dark attire standing on the cottage's porch, flanked by Victorian busts that were owned by John Lennon. Now, I don't think anybody knows the real history about how John Lennon got those busts, but prior to buying Tittenhurst Park, John owned several of these classical-style busts that were displayed at his Kenwood home in Weybridge, Surrey. In fact, one of them can be seen in the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover. And John had that bust and some of the others not only at the Cape Dutch Cottage, but also at the entry to the mansion. After buying Tittenhurst Park, Ringo placed the busts in other places around the mansion. And here you can see some of them along the east side, and some were placed at the entry to the mansion, including on the roof of the entryway. This photo, taken in the 1970s, shows a life-size rhinoceros statue standing in a grassy area. And here's a lady wearing a white vest standing beside it, while a child in a yellow top and blue shorts playfully leans against the rhino. And you can see a collie dog is also present in the foreground. If you have any idea who that lady or child could be, please let me know in the comments below. In the background, the famous weeping blue Atlas cedar with its distinctive drooping branches is visible, adding a notable natural element to the scene. And this photo shows a different lady with a different rhino. This is the one that was given to Keith Moon by Ringo. Now, this photo was not taken at Tittenhurst Park, and it was not taken at Keith Moon's residence. Instead, it was taken here. This is Broomhall, a grand Victorian mansion, known for its Gothic architectural style featuring tall chimneys, pointed gables, and large multi-pane windows. The mansion, surrounded by expansive grounds with lush green lawns, was purchased by actor Oliver Reed in the 1970s. Reed, the notorious actor, transformed it into a party haven where he kept the rhino that was gifted to him by Keith Moon. And so the statue stood as a quirky centerpiece in Oliver Reed's estate's gardens. And of course, the mansion's imposing presence and historical charm made it a fitting backdrop for the rhino and Oliver Reed's wild reputation. And on the off chance that you thought I was making any of this up, here's a photo of Oliver Reed posing with the Rhino Statue. Its weathered surface showing a textured grayish hue and the prominent horn. Reed, dressed in a dark shirt with a colorful design, leans casually against the statue, one arm resting on its horn, set against a backdrop of lush greenery and a wooden fence. So you may be wondering, where in the world are these rhino statues today? Well, the one that was owned by Keith Moon and then Oliver Reed is now owned by Theme Traders, a party planning company in England. At the time that I saw it, which is when I took this photo in the spring of 2019, the statue was positioned outside the Theme Traders office. Now, I don't know where Ringo's statue is today, but this image is from Julian's Auctions catalog, showing the sale of Ringo's Rhino statue, listed with a price of $3,000 to $5,000. Now, if somebody actually paid that for this rhino, they got a pretty good deal. In fact, if you purchased that rhino, or you know somebody who did, please let me know in the comments below or send me an email, because I got a few questions. The image features two views, one showing the statue in a snowy garden setting near a tree, and another displaying it isolated against a white background. And thanks to this image from the catalog, we now know that the statues were approximately 64 inches by 48 inches by 137 inches. So that's pretty big. And Ringo's note reveals that he had 2 rhinos made in the 1970s, one for himself and one for Keith Moon, and that this one stood in his garden since 1974. This photo shows 2 lion statues that were striking stone sculptures depicting reclining lions with detailed manes and expressive faces. They were positioned on a grassy slope on the east side of the mansion, where they were partially framed by a dense ivy hedge, adding a regal yet natural aesthetic. The lighter toned lion on the left and the darker one on the right showcase weather textures suggesting long-term outdoor exposure. Now, where in the world do they come from? Well, this photo shows Ringo sitting on one of those lion statues at his former home, Sunny Heights. At the time, the statue, part of a pair of life-size lions, was positioned on one of the porches. And here you can see it with a lush green backdrop of trees and foliage. And check this out. This photo shows John Lennon seated on one of those lion statues while he was visiting Ringo. Now, I've shown you the T-Rex in a previous video, and I've got lots of images of it, so check these out. The TRex statue in the gardens was a striking, life-size sculpture with a textured brownish surface, featuring an open jaw and powerful limbs, and it was set against a backdrop of lush green trees and a grassy lawn. Now, I was told that it was either a gift from Maureen Starkey, Ringo Starr's first wife, or it was commissioned by Ringo himself, but the exact origin remains unclear. But standing tall among the foliage, its imposing presence adds a whimsical, prehistoric charm to the estate. The designer and builder are not documented, but it may have been crafted by a custom sculptor or garden artist of the era, possibly linked to Ringo's network of creative contacts in the 1970s. Further research into period garden art records or maybe Ringo's personal archives could help identify the creator. If anyone has any idea who built this, please send me a message. I'd really appreciate it. Now, this photo shows the same lady from the earlier image, the one with the little girl and the dog, now standing next to the life-size T-Rex statue. As you can see, she's wearing a white top and raising one arm toward the statue. And the scene captures a playful interaction, with the statue towering over her, set against a lush green landscape under a partly cloudy sky. This is one of my favorite photos from my collection. It was taken in the early 1980s and it features musician Lawrence Gowen, who's now with Styx, during the recording of his album Strange Animal, with producer David Tickle. Gowen himself sent me this photo, and you can see he's playfully interacting with the T-Rex statue, sort of lifting it from underneath. Gowen is a really cool guy who was very helpful to me when I was writing my books about Tittenhurst Park, and he shared many great photos with me, many of which are in my books about Tittenhurst Park. He and I were introduced through our mutual friend David Tickle, who was the first in-house engineer for Ringo's recording studio at Tittenhurst Park. Now check this out. Gowen was the last musician to record at Tittenhurst Park before Ringo fully reclaimed it as his main residence with his family. On Strange Animal, Gowen worked with musicians who had previously collaborated with Peter Gabriel, including drummer Jerry Marotta, bassist Tony Levin, and guitarist David Rhodes. And I'll share photos from those sessions in a future video. This photo shows a 19th century statue of Diana, the Roman goddess of the hunt, positioned at the reflecting pool at Tittenhurst Park. The statue, crafted from stone, depicts Diana in a dynamic pose, standing atop a pedestal with a deer, her traditional companion exuding classical elegance. As you can see, surrounding the pool are stone urns filled with vibrant flowers, enhancing the serene and ornate setting. In the background, the T-Rex statue with its towering brownish form and open jaw is prominently visible. The elevated perspective suggests this could easily be seen from the house, offering a striking view of the estate's eclectic statuary. This mid-20th century photo shows the view from where the T-Rex would later be placed. In the distance, the Georgian mansion rises majestically, its white facade and symmetrical windows framed by lush greenery and trees, creating a picturesque view that blends historical architecture with natural beauty. And here is a similar view taken in the 1980s, showing that not much has changed over the course of time. This final image is much different than anything else, but I thought y'all might be interested in seeing it. The round bench that was at Tittenhurst Park was a distinctive, circular structure made of metal, featuring an intricate, lattice-like design with curved supports. Positioned on a grassy area surrounded by dense foliage, the bench's unique architecture suggests it was designed as both a functional seat and an artistic garden feature, blending seamlessly with the natural surroundings while offering a striking visual focal point. And I believe I have another photo of this bench wrapped around a large tree trunk. And I'll see if I could find that so I could share that with you too. So, what do you think of the busts and the statues of the lions and the rhino and the T-Rex at Tittenhurst Park? If you're rolling in dough like John and Ringo were, would you have had any of those around your mansion? I sure would. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com, where you can purchase handmade candles, gourmet teas, and herbal supplements for high blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, and more. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.